What's up, everybody? I'm Edgehill, or at least I go by Edgehill nowadays. I go by many names. Noah Alyssa Gillespie. Anyways, that's a deep cut. Today I want to talk about destiny. What is destiny? Like, I believe in God. Many other people believe in God. Many people go through life seeking God. I seek God. But I also think about the standard of what's going on in today's society. So many things wrong with the world. So many things just going bad. And I just wonder, where is God in all of this? Like the Epstein files, for example. If the Epstein files are to be believed, that means a lot of children were either killed or severely maimed by this man. And if the Epstein files are to be believed, allegedly this man is still alive. And furthermore, if the Epstein files are to be believed, there are countless individuals out there who are still prospering, even though thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of innocents have died or have been severely injured psychologically, spiritually, etc., etc. So this big revelation that's happening with all of that information, what does it mean? What does it mean for spirituality? What does it mean for God? What does it mean for life in itself? Because my mind has been thinking about those children. How many of them hoped for help and did not get it? How many of them maybe prayed for help? How many of them are still praying for help and are not getting it? The justice that they deserve. And I've been watching a lot of Tyler Oliveira lately. What a great reporter he is. He brings all of reality right to the forefront on his channel, And I love his channel. I love the exposés he's done on the Jewish. I love everything he's done. And I wonder, all of these things going on in society, like where is God in all of that? I think about that a lot. Corrupt mega churches, corrupt pastors, corrupt preachers, all the same thing, really. But so much corruption in the world, so much murder and war and rumors of wars. And I know the Bible says that these things are destined to happen, but why? Why must they happen? Why can't change happen now? Why can't God do anything about it now? Why can't God send a message out to everybody that is undeniable, that speaks to everybody all at once? Why can't God show himself and make everybody stop? Why does there have to be this guessing game, this game of cat and mouse about faith? What's the point of all that? Why can't God be like how we imagine gods in video games? You fulfill certain conditions and that God appears before you. You fulfill certain questions and that God appears before you and gives you either your mission objective or a boost to your stats, you know, why don't we as his children deserve that? Why does it always have to be a guessing game? Why can't the feeling be constant, the connection be constant? Why does there have to be so much suffering, or a meter of suffering that leads to salvation? That's my question. And the whole point of this video, I guess, is to ask a question, but also to work on my public speaking and work on who I've been as a person. You know, I've constantly been hiding from myself, hiding from any potential that I've ever had, never fulfilling any goals in my life that I really wanted to fulfill, because it was either I kept it in my head or I didn't move on it. And I realized that moving on something is the greatest thing you can do as a human being. It doesn't matter how nonsensical it is. It doesn't matter how afraid of doing it you may be. The greatest disservice you will ever do to yourself is not moving on something you behold for yourself, something that matters to you. If you can do that, then you've completed 50% of the work. It's important, because at the end of the day, as I've spent countless hours on Reels and TikToks and watched YouTube videos, and people are just talking. People are just doing what makes them who they are. And I always had this delusion that I wasn't good enough to be who I am. I wasn't smart enough, or I wasn't strong enough, or I wasn't enough to be anything. And it's not too late. And what I want to do is get my thoughts into a better place, or into more integration. Integrate your thoughts, integrate your mind, integrate all of those broken parts of yourself. And as you integrate, then you move towards your goals. I know I'm hopping all over the place. I know I started with a big question like, who is God? And then I talked about integration. But that's the point of this video. The point of this video is I realized that my brain is like a lot of pieces at once, a lot of questions, a lot of things that need answers. And I want to bring that all into one cohesive mass, you know? Because I've never been a fully integrated person. And integration is important. I realize that now. So, with that being said, I don't want to draw on too long. I thought I could do a 20-minute video of talking, but it feels good to just do this, to present myself to a goal, to a dream, to an aspiration. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Like the video, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to talk. Bye.